What a day. Earlier in the week, the humble Trig Point had its 90th birthday. They were first started putting them out in April 1936. 10 years after that, was the beginning of Vespa. Happy birthday, Vespa. What a morning. Well, Babbling Brook. It's actually the River Irrewash, and it divides Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire. So yeah, yesterday was Vespa's 80th. Now I did see a post that they did ship some Vespas to Rome about a month beforehand, but the 23rd of April was when they filed for a patent. Now apparently the guy that designed the Vespa did this patent without consulting Piaggio and only got a year or two's patent on it rather than 15 or whatever they would have rather had. So I guess that's why you soon had the likes of the Douglas Vespa. I'm not totally sure on that, but that's my theory. So I'm just going to jump back a few days now to putting the actual panel back in the frame and swapping the carburettor back to a 2020. Let's just check it once more with the shroud on before I go and put the wheel on and all that malarkey. Go for a swim. So I'm still running the 24-24 carb, however I've dropped the jetting down to a 107 maybe. Seen another couple of scooters actually. This is what it's all about. Angry fire. Right, so being a couple of miles around the block, not far at all, and only as fast as 40 mile an hour with the 125 cylinder kit back on, it's completely gutless. Obviously I've been used to that 177 kit for the last 100 miles. Also it's got that extended gearing, which doesn't help with the slightly less power, but that's where I'm at for the minute. Let's leave the scooter for a bit and come on a bit of a side quest to B&Q, some of the other little Italian, and we've got to get something to fix a wardrobe pole. If you think where all your hangers sit on your wardrobe pole, My other half has put way too much on it and snapped it. Right then, let's get that plastic frame tray back in. I think I'm going to put the smaller carburettor back on and give it a run like that. See if I can get away with leaving that taller gearing with the 125 block. If not, I'm going to have the clutch out and change the gearing as well. Of course, to get the tank out, I've had to take the rack off, the seat off. I've now got to take the oil and fuel lines out the carburettor. Right, I cut the fuel hose in the end because it was like plastic. That's what E10 ethanol fuel does to your fixtures and fittings. So I've got a brand new fuel hose anyway. I thought I might as well put that on while the tank's out. So yeah, here's the offending item. If we look in the frame, if you forget to put it in, you've basically got to take them back out, and I think some of the control cables. Let's have a look. So I've got one half in. The side where the choke piece comes in, that is so awkward. I can't even remember how I got that back in before. A lot more fiddling. Jeez, what a fight. But basically the first time I did that when I rebuilt it, I cracked the new side glass. That's gone in alright this time. Next off, I'm going to remove this carburettor. So this is where these Allen head sockets come into their own again. There we go. It was the mixture screw. You just need to carefully feed that out. Yeah. I didn't realise it's actually come down at all.